But right now, we're at Oceana. I want you to meet Cheryl Young, who trains these dolphins right here. And Cheryl, you're from Hinckley, right?
That's right.
How do you train these things?
Oh, we just lead them in little simple steps to show them what we'd like them to do. And, Scott, they're so happy to be on your show that they're just ready to flip.
Okay, let's see if they can do it. And they're on their way under now. That's fantastic. How long does it take to teach them a trick like that?
Well, we've had these dolphins for 4.5 years, so all the things they're doing they've learned over that time and improved with time. But flips do take quite a while for the animal to learn.
You have all sorts of other things, too, that you do. What other things can they do?
Oh, is there too many to name right now?
Can you show a couple?
Well, why don't you meet him first? I'd like to introduce you to Striker.
That would be a good idea, because they do have names.
Yeah, this is Striker, the one male dolphin that we have. Why don't you shake hands with him and say hi? And we have 3 girls here. There's Coco, Misty, and Breeze.
Coco, Misty, and Breeze. Which one's which?
This is Coco.
Coco.
There's Misty, and Breeze.
How do you tell the difference?
Oh, they've got faces just like everybody, right, guys?
Do they like to watch AM Cleveland?
Oh, they sure do.
What do they feel like when it's over, when the show's over at 10 o'clock?
They wish you ran a little bit longer.
I think that's terrific. Now, how fast can these things swim?
Oh, they can swim at 20 miles an hour.
And they get going so fast so they can do things like jump through a hoop, right?
Yeah, they can even jump 20 feet in the air.
Can we show that?
Sure. We'll use Striker.
Striker looks pretty good there. Striker, I'm glad I shook hands with you. Striker's going to really go for it, and I think Cheryl's going to get right up on top of this ladder right here. And she's got a fish in her hand, so Striker is getting ready and on his way underneath, taking a long jump up. Oh, perfect. Whoa. Thanks a whole lot, Striker, for getting me all wet. I guess the water's got to go somewhere, doesn't it? What do they feel like when you touch them?
Well, I'll let you find out for yourself.
All right. Is this Striker again? Striker again. Oh, it's real smooth and warm, too. These are mammals. These are not fish. And that's something people don't understand.
In fact, he just took a breath of air here through his blowhole, and that's his nose up there.
The nose is up here, not over here.
Right, that makes it easier to breathe and swim at the same time.
And they also make their noises out of this hole, too.
Yeah, we'll have him make a couple for you now. Say hi, Strike.
Excellent. Oh, what?
People are studying these sounds to find out what they mean.
You're looking at me. What are you looking at that microphone? You like the microphone.
I will let him go back in.
I think it's time to go back in. Can they stay out of water for a long time?
Yeah, they play up here. After we taught them that they could come up like this, they come up and play all the time. And they'll just stay out for a minute at the most. But they do enjoy coming up here, and it's like a whole new dimension's opened up for them.
How old are they?
They're about 7 to 8 years old now.
How long do they live?
They can live into the 30s.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. And they can also play sports, can't they?
Yeah, would you like to play football with them?
Let's play football. That sounds like a good idea. You got a football back there, and somebody over there. Is that Striker again?
Yeah, we'll let him be the star today.
Striker's really doing well here. Now, they respond to hand signals. You also have a whistle. What's the whistle for?
The whistle tells them when they perform something correctly. That's their signal to come in and get their little food reward.
Can they always hear it?
Yeah, they can. It's a high-frequency whistle, and they have excellent hearing. They can hear it whether they're in the water or in the air.
Now, the food that you feed them, you don't always give them food after every trick, do you?
Oh, as a rule, during the summertime, we usually do in the shows. It lets them know that everything they've done has been appreciated by us. But we never withhold food to make them perform. By the end of the day, they all get their fair share of food.
And I notice you have, back there, you have 4 different pails for each of the dolphins. Why is that?
Well, that's because we weigh their amounts of food. Our veterinarian helps us come up with the proper diet for each animal so they don't get overfed or underfed.
So each one of them gets the same amount of weight.
They have their own individual diets. Striker's the largest, and he has the highest food amount. And one of our girls is just smaller. She's got the kind of metabolism that just doesn't require as much food.
All right.
Okay, Striker's ready to do the pass now. You want to throw it to him?
Sure.
It's kind of hard. No, it's kind of hard this time of morning. The sun was right in his eyes.
See what Striker thought of that right over there. Okay. Is there another? You got another ball up here that we can use? How about basketball? Can we play basketball? There's a basketball back there somewhere. All right. Why don't you do this with them because they're used to doing it with you.
Yeah, the Misty's our star basketball player here.
All right, Misty. Here's your chance. Misty's getting ready right now and sees the basketball. And the others, it looks like the others are trying to get in on this particular act right here. Now look at that. She's got it. This is how they dribble.
Oh, she dropped it.
She dropped it.
The girls got a little jealous when you were petting Stryker and he was getting all the attention, so now...
Will she come back and pick that up?
Yeah, she's going to get it.
Oh, she's got to have it handed to her, though, right?
Ready, Misty?
Oh, well, that's just perfect. And that's why they call it a dolphin kick, too, because that's the way the dolphins do it.
Okay, Misty, bring it up. Oh, now she's got to show off a little bit.
She's teasing us right now, right? Excellently done. Do they remember these tricks, Cheryl, for a long time?
Yeah, they do. In fact, there's one thing we can't do all winter long with them. We have an air-inflated dome over the pool that just covers the sidewalk in the pool area. And during the summertime, they kick balls up into the audience, big beach balls with their tails, and the people throw them back, and there's a whole game that goes on there for a while. And that's something they can't practice in the wintertime because they just hit the dome and it would bounce right back in. So they all winter long they don't do it, and in the summer they remember it perfectly.
You must have an absolute ball with these things.
Yeah, they're great.
And they know you, don't they?
Oh, they do. We've been together for 4.5 years now, and me and their other trainer, Craig Beta, have been with them ever since they've been around people. So we know each other real well.
How do they respond to other people? I noticed when we came in first this morning, they were very aware of us.
Yeah, they're very aware animals. They're very intelligent.
How intelligent compared to a human being? Do we know quite yet?
It's hard to compare because their whole set of references underwater, and they live in a whole different element than we do. They can't manipulate tools or write or anything like that, so it's really hard to compare the intelligences. But they seem to be at least as smart as any other animal, with the possible exception of a chimpanzee.
Now, we're going to see a chimpanzee a little later on today, so we can compare those two. What other things can we do with them here? They're waiting to go. They're ready to go, and they're making all sorts of noises.
Well, how would you like to play jump rope with them?
That sounds good. Let's do that. Jump rope. Okay. How does this work?
Well, you hold it in one hand here.
Okay.
And then put this loop on Stryker's nose. He's right over here on the end. Just hold it up, and he'll come up and get it. Or you can stand up. Okay. Now he'll go out. And hold on to it because Coco's going to jump.
That's terrific. One more time?
Yeah, let's let her do it one more time. That's something they enjoy a lot.
That's jumping rope. Now, how long would it take to teach that particular one? You're saying that the flips take a little bit longer.
And something like that, you have to coordinate both animals' movements and have them work together on it. So that takes a lot longer.
But you can't just tell them, hey, Stryker, would you do this? And you can't really get in there and show them. How do you do it?
Well, we lead them for things. We lead them either with the palm of our hand or with this object right here. We call it a target pole, and the dolphin's taught to follow the ball on the end of this pole.
That's why it's painted yellow, I would assume.
That makes it show up a little better. Hey, how would you like to do a hoop jump with the dolphin?
That sounds good. Let's try a hoop jump. You want to hold the microphone here?
Yeah, Stryker and Coco will do this one too. Okay, hold it out for him. That's it. And they'll come through one more time for you, too.
What do the others do while this is happening?
Keep out of the way. Our dolphins are very good. Our dolphins are trained to know whose turn it is to perform at different times, and they wait for their own turn. They each have their own spot along the stage, and they know whose turn it is by where we're standing.
Is there a hierarchy here? In other words, are these all pretty much the same?
No, they're like most animals. They do have a dominance order, pecking order, whatever you'd like to call it. And Stryker's the boss. He's the oldest and the largest and the male. Sometimes in other groups it'll be an older female that's the boss. Coco's next in line, and then Misty and Breeze go back and forth with who's on top on a given day.
Do they ever have cranky days where they decide they're not going to perform?
Not very often. We've had a few times where maybe one will be, I don't feel like doing it, or sometimes they show kind of a sense of humor. You'll give them a signal they know perfectly well, and they'll do something else instead, and then they'll come up like, ha-ha. So they're kind of like kids in that way, too, sometimes. They know when you really want them to perform well, and they'll kind of show off instead.
Well, I know they can show off and say goodbye here in a very special way. Shall we do that one?
Okay.
Who's going to do it?
Coco.
Coco? Okay.
There's a big kiss for you.
You can Now, I know they do one other trick, too, don't they? If you turn around.
If you're brave enough.
Sure, let's do it. Like this?
Yeah, but scoot down just a little bit so she's sure that's what you want.
They have to know which cheek to kiss. That's right. Cheryl, you were absolutely terrific. Thanks so much for being with us here on AM Cleveland. We've got much, much more from Cedar Point, so stay with us right here. And thank you there. Thank you.